Hello everyone. Welcome to Sangam Spardha Pariksha. From this lecture, we are going to start with Maharashtra State Board textbooks. This lecture or this playlist will be specifically for general science. In this playlist or in this series, we are going to start from standard 6th to 12th. In 11th and 12th, we are going to cover the most important topics, most important chapters which are going to appear in your MPSC or any examination conducted by Maharashtra Public Service Commission or UPSC as well. So without wasting any further time, let us delve into general science standard 6th, and please, I request you, don't take notes. I am going to provide you notes as well. They are here just below this video in the description. Just click there and you will be navigated to download the notes. Just pay your attention and listen what I am saying, because even though it's 6th standard, but many questions have appeared directly from this state board book. Not only in MPSC but in UPSC as well. So in all, we have 16 chapters in this standard, that is 6th standard, and we will cover each of them with detailed specification which are important for your MPSC or UPSC or let's say any competitive examination. First chapter talks about natural resources, which are air, water and land. First of all, let me tell you what actually natural resources are. Whenever you don't know anything, now this term is very easy, but what I want to tell you, whenever you are not able to gauge what the word is saying, just bifurcate it. Now here, natural means everything which is coming from nature, not only Mother Earth but also whole earth, its atmosphere, land and water. So that's why these resources are natural resources. Now if they are natural, then what is opposite of natural resources? The opposite is man-made resources, like this pen or this digital board, this mic, the bicycle or the two-wheeler, four-wheeler you drive is also man-made. So natural resources are the resources which we get from the nature directly, where human interference is not at all possible, and opposite to that is man-made resources. So this chapter tells each and everything about air, water and land. Now whatever is been taught in this chapter is just for 6th standard. So don't think that ki only this much has been covered in this lecture series. What our aim is just to finish the chapter, and the detailed things will appear in the respective chapters. Like 7th standard will have something more, 8th, 9th and 10th. So like that we are going to cover. First of all, this is for 6th standard, so that's why they have given a image here, and it is for like small kids. But what we have to learn from this is there are on this page there is an image which is showing what is lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. Now we all know that everything which surrounds our earth, that is known as the earth's atmosphere. Now the earth is like this, a spherical object. In your geography lectures you must have read till now, earth is not spherical, it is flattened. Okay, so whatever covers above the surface of earth is known as atmosphere. Fine. Then hydrosphere, the water on the earth, all the water components, let it be ocean or ponds, lakes, rivers, everything, all of the things which covers water, all water bodies are known as hydrosphere. How to remember? The term hydro is itself meant as water. Do you know hydrophobic? Some people are hydrophobic. They don't like to swim. Or hydrophilia or hydrogen. See, water's scientific name is hydrogen. Okay, so everything related to hydro is what is known as pani, water. Then the lithosphere. Litho in itself is meant as soil, rock. Okay? So the land area, the earth, on the earth, wherever you see the land or the mountains or plateaus, everything is known as lithosphere. So what we have understood from this image, that there we have to read about three things. First is atmosphere, second is hydrosphere, and the lithosphere. So in all, atmosphere is air, hydrosphere is water, and lithosphere is about soil and land. Fine? Now, moving forward, now they have, whatever I have told you just now, they have explained it the same thing. Air, water and land are called Earth's atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. As simple as that. Now the most important thing comes here, that is, what is biosphere? Biosphere is level wherein living beings interact and meet with parts of hydro, litho and atmosphere, where the natural resources and humankind or living thing reacts, that is, they interact with each other. That layer is known as biosphere. So if I have to tell you in this figure itself, see, this fish are living things, cow is a living thing, and these living things are interacting with hydrosphere or the lithosphere. Then this whole four components, living things, hydrosphere, lithosphere and atmosphere, will be known as biosphere. So where does human being live? In which sphere? Not in atmosphere, not in lithosphere, not at all in hydrosphere, but in biosphere. Now they are teaching us about the atmosphere. See, please give me your ears and please pay your attention. The atmosphere is the layer of earth, that is the layer of air that surrounds earth. Now they have shown you here what earth is, and this highlighted part is the atmosphere. So if we are saying atmosphere covers or atmosphere includes air, then what all components, what all elements are there in air, that they are going to tell us. But before that, now they are saying surface of earth comprises water and land, that we know. See, this is an ocean, so it is land. This is a surface of earth, this is water, this is land or continent. But now they have shown us that if surface of earth covers land and water, then actually how much percent is the land proportion and how much is the water? Here we can see 71% of the earth has water, like water body, and only 29% is land area. So whatever plains, mountains, anything, the place where you live in is just 29% and rest is water. So this is very important because in MPSC 2014 the same question has been repeated. Again in UPSC 1998 there was the same type of question. Okay, so remember this, water is 71%, but land area is just 29% constituted on the surface of earth. Natural components like these natural resources may be also divided as solid, liquid and gaseous. I don't have to repeat it because it's very simple. Gaseous means air, that is atmosphere, liquid, water, and solid part is the land. Here now they have asked us what are the 5 layers of atmosphere. See, while reading, just don't forget to read this or answer this as well. This is the spheres of earth. The layer which is just above the surface of earth is known as troposphere. Now in this sphere we live. Like if they ask us where does human beings live, which layer is that, where does the balloon flows, or where does the balloon, the balloon, also tell me which gas is there in the balloons, like birthday balloons. Okay, so that layer is troposphere. It is from surface of earth to 20 kilometer above the surface of earth. Then comes the stratosphere. Fine. First layer is troposphere. Tropo means topology, everything near to the surface of earth. Troposphere, just understand by remembering such points. Troposphere is the first sphere, then the stratosphere, something above the troposphere is known as stratosphere. Now in MPSC 2015 this question has been asked, that where do the aircrafts fly, in which sphere of atmosphere the aircraft flies, and the options were stratosphere, troposphere, mesospheres, and so one more, but the answer was stratosphere. Everybody thought that we can see from our eyes that where the aircraft flies, and that's why everybody gave answer troposphere, but the answer was the lower layer of stratosphere. Again, one more important thing about stratosphere is that ozone layer is present in the stratosphere. Now, why this ozone layer is important? We are going to see this in the further pages of this chapter, but here only I am going to tell you. The sun emits some harmful rays known as UV rays, and these UV rays are blocked by this layer, that is ozone layer. So it acts as natural sunscreen. We everybody apply sunscreen so that we are protected and we don't get tanned. But the natural sunscreen is our ozone layer, which blocks UV rays entering to the Earth's troposphere and then to the Earth, and causing skin cancers to the human beings. So two important things we have read here. First is aircraft flies in which sphere, that is stratosphere, and the ozone layer is present in the stratosphere. Then comes the mesosphere. All the astronomical events, it happens in mesosphere, like the meteor shower happens in the mesosphere, and it is 85 kilometer from the surface of the earth. Then comes the troposphere. What all happens in these spheres we are going to read in respective standards in respective chapters. Here just the question was asked, do you remember 5 layers of the atmosphere? And the answer is tropo, strato, meso. This is I know, not again the tropo. And then the exosphere. Fine. These are the 5 layers of atmosphere. Moving towards our chapter. Now, they are going to deal with all 3 natural resources. So, first layer is air. We are going to read about air here. Air in the atmosphere contains, what does the air contains? Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, 6 inert gases, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and dust particles. Air has all of these elements. Now, ma'am, do I have to remember all this? No, absolutely no. But from the highest to the lowest, like the chronology you have to remember. How? That I will tell you. First, just listen here. Air contains all these gases. Now, what are these 6 inert gases? Does anybody know? Inert gases are also known as noble gases. Like they have their outer shell, their valency is fulfilled. Like they have same electrons and they don't have to exchange electrons to satisfy their shell valency. All these type of elements are known as inert gases. Now when we have known what inert gases is, then we also have to know who those 6 inert gases are. So the most important one is argon. Okay, important in the terms of atmosphere or air. Why? we are going to see just in few minutes. Argon, then comes xenon, helium. You don't have to write, I have given you each and everything in your notes. Just pay attention here. Then neon, radon. Okay? So these are 6 inert gases. Now, what I have told you that we have to learn from first to last, like how much percentage of these gases are there in air. So here we can see that in this figure. First one is nitrogen. See, nitrogen constitutes 78% of total air, total element in air, of total gas in air is nitrogen. Now we think that we respire continuously, so it might be oxygen that is too much in the air, or when we respire, we give out, we exhale carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide must be in major proportion, but no, nitrogen stands first, then oxygen, then argon. So argon is a inert gas, but still it is more as compared to carbon dioxide. Remember, it is very important, and the same question has been asked in UPSC 2016. So please remember these facts, very important, and you have to just rectify it. Okay, now how? Just think ki there is no AC in this room, but actually there is. See how? No, nitrogen for N, O for oxygen, no AC, NOAC, no AC. First is nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide. Now they are not going to ask you actual percentage, like how much percentage is nitrogen. No, they are just going to ask you what is the correct chronology from ascending to descending or from descending to ascending. So if they ask you from ascending to descending, then our answer is no AC. That is, there was no AC in that examination hall. Okay, moving forwards. Besides gases, air also contains water vapor and dust particles. You just have to remember this thing. What actually is the role of water vapor and dust particle, that we can see in the coming chapters. But just not to give you any FOMO, I'll tell you here. When the water evaporates from the water body, it evaporates, then it forms water vapor. So water vapor is very essential for rain, and when these water vapor meets dust particles in the air, then the cloud bursts and rain starts. So dust particles and water vapors constitutes water cycle or are important for rain. Okay, air becomes, now the second thing which you have to read from this passage, air becomes rarer at higher altitude. Now what does it means? Air becomes rare at higher altitude. See, first of all, you have to understand what actually altitude means. Altitude. It is a geographical phenomena wherein you calculate a mountain's height or anything. When we have to calculate at what height it is situated, then we calculate it from mean sea level. Like if this is the sea and this is Mount Everest. So what is the height of Mount Everest? If we say 8,000, then 8,000 compared to what? Compared to mean sea level. So the height is nothing but altitude. How on how topmost peak the person is standing or the height is there, it is known as altitude. Okay, so what this sentence is saying, air becomes rarer at higher altitude. So when you are standing at this peak of the mountain, they are saying here the air is less compared to this land area or sea level. Here the air is more and here it is less. Why does this happens? Because as we move upward from the surface of air, from the surface of earth, the air becomes scattered very thin. And when you move forward towards other, like you are traveling in international space station, or when astronauts go to the moon, the air becomes rare and rarest. There is no air in the galaxy for us to survive. So air becomes thin or rare as we go from earth towards the heights. If you have seen the persons who trek, when they trek on the height, then they carry air bags or oxygen cylinders. So why? Because air becomes rare at higher altitude. Moving forward, here they have given us some usage of gases, which is not at all important. It is for 6th standard students. We know them already. Now, if air is there, then there must be something bad happening with air, and that is known as air pollution. We all know what air pollution is. It comes when we drive vehicles, when there is forest fire, or from industry combustions. That all is not of our interest, but see this thing. Harmful substances released in air through combustion of fuels. What are these? Nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and soot. Now you must be thinking that nitrogen dioxide was already present in air, then how it is a pollutant? So when it is in a specific amount in the air, then it is okay, but when it just reaches its maximum limit, then it becomes a pollutant. Carbon dioxide goes the same way. Fine. A maximum threshold is okay, but when anything moves above the threshold, then it would cause the air pollution effect. Then comes the ozone layer. Just now I have told you ozone is there in the stratosphere. The layer of ozone is in the stratosphere, and it blocks ultraviolet rays coming directly from the sun. Now this ozone layer is also getting disturbed, like you can see holes in this ozone layer because of release of harmful substances like carbon tetrachloride, carbon chlorofluorocarbon, and hydrofluorocarbons as well, and they are banned in India from like using it in refrigerators. Most important thing here is 16th September is known as Ozone Protection Day. Fine, you have to remember this date. Now here I have to tell you, like they have given a story like metropolitan cities have too much of air pollution and everything, but what important thing here we have to learn is what actually is a metropolitan city. That is your homework. मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटी कोणत्या कोणत्या आहेत महाराष्ट्रामध्ये त्या तुम्हाला बघायच्या आहे. इथे यांनी मुंबई, पुणे, नागपूर, दे हॅव गिवन दिस नेम्स, बट स्टिल यू हॅव टू फाइंड हाऊ मेनी मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज आर देअर इन महाराष्ट्र. देन किती पॉप्युलेशन असलं, पॉप्युलेशन क्रायटेरिया, how much population constitutes a metropolitan city, that also you have to work on it and just tell me the answer. Now we have finished with air. We have seen no AC is the descending order of the air, and now we are going towards water. Here they have told us water is a universal solvent, and the same question was asked in MPSC 2017, that which among the following is a universal solvent, and the options were water, mercury, and everybody thought that mercury might be a universal solvent, and they marked the answer wrong. आणि बघा 6वी सारख्या आपण ज्यांना फॉर ग्रांटेड घेतो अशा स्टँडर्ड्समधनं MPSC पण डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन विचारतं. त्यानंतर UPSC 2020 की 22, आय एम नॉट रिमेंबरिंग द इयर, बट त्याच्यामध्ये विचारलं होतं की वाय इज वॉटर नोन ॲज पोलार मॉलिक्यूल. Now here I have to tell you one very important and very interesting thing, that is water is a universal solvent. Now we all know that the formula of water is H2O. That is, we have two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen, and that's why it is not stable. So water always try to टेक, म्हणजे जर का तुम्ही त्याच्यामध्ये साखर टाकली पाण्यामध्ये तर ती लगेच विरघळून जाईल. तुम्ही मीठ टाकलं तर ते लगेच विरघळून जाईल. का? कारण की water always tries to dissolve all the components, all the materials that we have put into it, and that's why it has polar feature, and that's why it is known as polar molecule. So it is very important, just remember, water is a universal solvent or water is a polar molecule. Moving forward, here one very important thing I have to tell you, that just now I have told you Earth's surface has 71% of water and remaining 29 is land. Okay, म्हणजे आपल्याकडे पाणी खूप आहे, आपण पाणी कितीही वापरू शकतो, कितीही फेकू शकतो, कितीही पिऊ शकतो, एकच घोट पिऊन बाकीचा ग्लास फेकून देऊ शकतो. But it's not the case. Even though we have 71% of water on the surface of Earth, still the potable water, that is the water which we can drink, is just 0.001%. Getting? So see, ocean water is 97% out of sea. We have 71% of water. या 71 मधला पण 97% ऑफ वॉटर हे ओशनमध्ये. आता ओशनमधलं पाणी आपल्या का बरं कामाचं नाही? बिकॉज वी कॅनॉट ड्रिंक ओशन वॉटर. वाय? बिकॉज इट इज सॉल्टी, इट इज नॉट पोर्टेबल. सो दिस 97% तो गया. देन ice caps, glaciers and groundwater constitutes या 71% मधनं 2%, म्हणजे 98% 99% वॉटर गेलं. आपण बर्फ फोडून तर तो पाणी नाही पिऊ शकत. ग्लेशियर्स अगेन द सेम, आणि ग्राउंड वॉटर. ठीक आहे, ग्राउंड वॉटर ठीक आहे, बोरवेल वगैरे ते सगळं आपण करून पाणी ते पिऊ शकतो, बट स्टिल इट इज नॉट ॲक्सेसिबल. The water which is accessible, that is streams and rivers, हे पाणी आपण पिऊ शकतो, and that is only this much. So this was again UPSC 2020 or 2022 question. तर हे इथे तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. So we have covered this as well. Moving forward, here they have talked about water cycle, and just now I have told you water cycle starts from ocean or any water body wherein due to heat the water gets evaporated in the form of बाष्पीकरण आपण ज्याला म्हणतो. ठीक आहे, त्यानंतर ते पाण्याची जी वाफ होते त्याचं ढग बनतो. जेव्हा ढग डस्ट पार्टिकल्स सोबत जे आपण एअरमध्ये बघितले त्यांच्यासोबत या ढगांचं कंडेन्सेशन इंटरॅक्शन होतं तेव्हा रेन येते, आणि ही रेन पुन्हा ओशन, स्ट्रीम्स, एनी वॉटर बॉडीमध्ये जाते, पुन्हा बाष्पीकरण किंवा इव्हॅपरेशन होतं, अँड इट कंटिन्यूज. सो दिस इज वॉटर सायकल. पुढच्या चॅप्टर्समध्ये म्हणजे पुढच्या लेक्चर्समध्ये, पुढच्या स्टँडर्ड्समध्ये तुम्हाला वॉटर सायकल अजून डिटेलमध्ये येईल. विथ दिस देर विल बी ऑल्सो कार्बन डायऑक्साईडची सायकल, फॉस्फरसची सायकल, खूप साऱ्या सायकल्स येणार आहेत ज्या तुमच्या एन्व्हायरमेंटसाठी खूप महत्त्वाच्या आहेत. आणि या सायकल्सवरती दरवर्षी एक क्वेश्चन हमखास एक्सपेक्टेड असतो. इथे आता काहीच पुढे आपल्या कामाचं असं नाही आहे, बट नाव दे आर गोइंग टू टेल अस अबाउट थर्ड नॅचरल रिसोर्स, दॅट इज लँड. लँड किती पर्सेंट आहे लगेच आठवत जायचं. ठीक आहे, दिस इज व्हेरी नोबल इनिशिएटिव्ह. तुम्हाला स्टेट बोर्डच्या बुक्स त्या पण एवढ्या मोठ्या प्लॅटफॉर्मवरती ॲज अ फॅकल्टी कोणीच कुठेच शिकवलेलं तुम्हाला दिसणार नाही. सो आता हे चालू आहे, आपला किती फायदा होतोय तेवढा फायदा करून घ्या. एकदम नीट ह्या बुक्स आपण जर पाठ केल्या तर तुम्हाला तुमच्या एक्झाम्समध्ये 20, 30, 40 मार्क इझिली पडतील. सगळा जो सिलेबस आहे तुमच्या सिलेबसमध्येच लिहिलेली असते लेवल, 10वीपर्यंतची लेवल, 12वीपर्यंतची लेवल. सो ती लेवल कुठून बघतो एक्झामिनर? इथूनच क्वेश्चन्स काढतो. लँडमध्ये ते आपल्याला सांगत आहेत सगळ्यात महत्त्वाची गोष्ट लेयर्सबद्दल. ठीक आहे, हे बघा. जी सगळ्यात वरची लेयर असते, दिस लेयर, हिला आपण टॉप मोस्ट लेयर असं म्हणतो. सो whenever we are going to sow seeds, कुठे आपण सो करणार? टॉप मोस्ट लेअरमध्ये. ह्या टॉप मोस्ट लेअरलाच आपण म्हणतो ह्युमस. ह्युमस म्हणजे काय? समथिंग रिलेटेड टू ह्युमन किंवा लिव्हिंग थिंग. कसं समथिंग रिलेटेड टू? जेव्हा हे बघा, हे पानं पडले इथे या झाडाचे, हे इथे डिकम्पोज होतात. किंवा समजा आपण सो केलेला जो प्लांट आहे त्याची आता हार्वेस्टिंग केली आहे, ठीक आहे, त्याच्यानंतर जे काही तिथे मल्चिंग होते त्यांनी सुद्धा ह्या सॉईलचं फॉर्मेशन होतं. त्यानंतर आपण गांडूळ खत म्हणतो किंवा मायक्रोब्स असतात, हे सगळे ह्या टॉपमोस्ट लेअरमध्ये असते आणि म्हणूनच ही सगळ्यात फर्टाईल अशी सॉईल असते. जर आपल्याला झाडं लावायची असतील, ॲग्रिकल्चर प्रॅक्टिस करायची असेल, तर ही टॉप मोस्ट सॉईल फर्टाईल असणं, फर्टाईल म्हणजे काय? तिथे ह्युमस असणं खूप जास्त महत्त्वाचं आहे. सो द टॉप मोस्ट सॉईल इज नोन ॲज ह्युमस. कुठे कुठे फाइंड होते ही? डेन्स फॉरेस्ट, नॉट इम्पॉर्टंट. म्हणजे काय? जिथे विरळ असेल, जिथे झाडं नसतील, बॅरन लँड असेल, तिथे ऑब्व्हियसली टॉपमोस्ट सॉईल मिळणार नाही. जिथे डेन्स फॉरेस्ट आहे, जवळजवळ झाडं आहेत, त्या झाडांचा पाला पडत आहे, तिथे मायक्रोब्स आहेत, त्यामुळे तिथे ही फर्टाईल सॉईल जास्त मिळते. त्याच्या खालची जी सॉईल असते ती असते इममॅच्युअर सॉईल. ठीक आहे, त्याच्या खालची सॉईल इममॅच्युअर असते. का? कारण की तुम्ही वरून खालपर्यंत जसे जसे याल, सॉईलचं प्रमाण कमी होत जातं. म्हणजे खडक वाढतात, सॉईल कमी होतात. वरती खडक कमी असतात, सॉईल जास्त असतं. तर तुम्हाला एकतर हा क्वेश्चन येऊ शकतो, द एअर बिकम्स रेअर ॲज वी मूव अपवर्ड, किंवा द सॉईल बिकम्स रेअर ॲज वी गो डाऊन टुवर्ड्स द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ. ठीक आहे, हे दोन गोष्टी तुम्ही नीट लक्षात ठेवा. खाली जसं जसं जाऊ आपण तसं तसं सॉईल रेअर होत जाते आणि रॉकची क्वांटिटी वाढत जाते. आता इथे सगळ्यात महत्त्वाची पुढची गोष्ट आहे, जो सगळ्यात खालचा रॉक असतो हा, याला काय म्हणतात? याला बेडरॉक असं म्हणतात. ठीक आहे, इथे लिहिलेलं असेल लेयर ऑफ बेडरॉक. The main minerals in the soil are derived from these rocks. आता या बेडरॉकला ना पेरेंट रॉक असं पण म्हणतात. बेडरॉक इज ऑल्सो नोन ॲज पेरेंट रॉक. वाय? कारण की ह्या पेरेंटवरनंच ही सॉईल कशी बनलेली असणार आहे टॉपमोस्ट ते कळतं. जसा हा पेरेंट असेल तशीच ती सॉईल बनणार. कलर, टेक्स्चर ऑफ द सॉईल आर बोथ डिटरमाइंड बाय द बेड रॉक. ओके, so this is the very important feature of bedrock. Then actually soil कशी बनते? The process of soil formation. हे बघा, आधी मी समजावून सांगते, मग तुम्ही जे लिहिलेलं आहे ते वाचाल. काय होतं? इथल्या ह्या इमेजवरनंच बघू आपण. हे बघा, हा एक सेक्शन ऑफ अर्थ आहे. काय होतं इथे? हीटचा असर पडतो, गरमी खूप जास्त, उन्हामुळे हे सॉईल काय होतं? दूर दूर होऊन जातं. म्हणजे तो एकत्र आलेला नसतो, थोडा धुसर होऊन जातो हा सॉईल. त्यानंतर काय होतं? कधी पाऊस पडतो त्यावेळेला तो एकत्रित येतो, एकदम त्याचे गोळे गोळे बनतात. कधी थंडी असते त्यावेळेला पुन्हा तो कडक होऊन जातो. तर ह्या सगळ्या वेदरिंगमुळे, दिस फिनॉमिनन इज नोन ॲज वेदरिंग. वेन द हीट, कोल्ड और वॉटर interacts with these bedrocks or the immature soil, then the topmost layer of the earth is formed, of the soil is formed. वन मोर इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग, हे जे रूट्स असतात, ठीक आहे, हे रूट्स इथे इमॅच्युअर सॉईलमध्ये गेलेले आहे, हे इकडे जाऊन ब्रेक करतात सॉईलला किंवा बारीक बारीक खड्यांना, आणि त्यामुळे पण वरची टॉपमोस्ट लेअर ऑफ सॉईल बनते. इथे तेच लिहिलेलं आहे. हीट, कोल्ड अँड वॉटर मुळे काय होतं, बेडरॉक ब्रेक्स इनटू पीसेस. हा दगड आहे, हा तुटला. कशामुळे? हीट, रॉक, कोल्ड आणि झाडांचे रूट्स पण. त्यानंतर मायक्रोब्स, वर्म्स आणि इन्सेक्ट्स हे पण इंटरॅक्ट करतात. रूट्स ऑफ ट्रीज हे पण लँडपर्यंत जातात. अँड हेल्प वेदरिंग ऑफ रॉक. वेदरिंग ऑफ रॉक झालं की त्याचं सॉईल बनतं. नाव द प्रोसेस ऑफ सॉईल फॉर्मेशन इज स्लो अँड कंटिन्युअस. खूप हळूहळू असं नाही, जे मी सांगितलं ते एका वर्षात, 2 वर्षात, 10 वर्षात बनतं, नाही. खूप हळूहळू ही प्रोसेस होते. अँड इट टेक्स अबाउट थाउजंड्स ऑफ इयर्स फॉर 2.5 सेंटीमीटर थिक लेअर ऑफ मॅच्युअर सॉईल. ठीक आहे, म्हणजे जी तुमची ही 15 सेंटीमीटरची स्केल असते त्याच्यातले फक्त 2.5 सेंटीमीटर इतकुशी सॉईल बनायला 1000 इयर्स लागतात. ओके, अँड हाऊ दिस, ती वरची सॉईल कशी असणार आहे, इट इज डिटरमाइंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ बेडरॉक. हा पेरेंट आहे वरच्या सॉईलचा, हा बेडरॉक पेरेंट आहे. I think we have done with this chapter. And the last thing which is about this IMD, it is Indian Meteorological Department. ठीक आहे, ही इस्टॅब्लिश कधी झाली होती? 1875. इट मीन्स बिफोर इंडिया गॉट इंडिपेंडन्स IMD वॉज इस्टॅब्लिश्ड. दॅट इज इट वॉज इस्टॅब्लिश्ड बाय ब्रिटिश इंडिया. आणि कशासाठी आहे? इट स्टडीज द वेदर इन इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट. नाव दे आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडिया. IMD जी आहे ती फक्त इंडियाचं वेदर फॉरकास्टिंग नाही करत, इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंटचं करते. सो इन कॉमेंट सेक्शन टेल मी व्हॉट इज द डिफरन्स बिटवीन इंडिया अँड इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट. ठीक आहे, इथे हे आपण ऑलरेडी शिकलो आहोत की लँड 29% आहे, वॉटर 71% आहे. पोर्टेबल वॉटर फक्त 0.3 आहे, म्हणजे याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी स्ट्रीम्स, रिव्हर्स आणि ग्राउंड वॉटर, जे मी म्हणलं होतं आपण बोरवेल थ्रू आपण ते पाणी पिऊ शकतो, ते पण याच्यात इन्क्लुडेड केलं आहे. आणि ऑक्सिजन जे आपल्याला कंटिन्यू श्वासोश्वास करायला लागतं ते फक्त 21% आहे. सो इथे ते एक तुम्हाला दाखवत आहेत की बाबा आपण जितकं बिंदास राहतो तितकं नाही आहे, आपल्याला जागा पण कमी आहे राहायला, पाणी पण कमी आहे आणि ऑक्सिजन पण कमी आहे, 21%च आहे. तर दिस वॉज द इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ दॅट. जे तुम्हाला नोट्स आहेत ते खाली डिस्क्रिप्शनमध्ये मिळतील. त्यानंतर ह्याच्याचवरती एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चन, ह्या चॅप्टरमध्ये आपण काय शिकलो आहोत त्याचे एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चन्स पण मी घेईल. आता फर्स्ट लेक्चर आपलं संपलेलं आहे, सेकंड लेक्चर आपण सुरुवात करू पुढच्या लेक्चरमध्ये, सेकंड चॅप्टरचा, स्टँडर्ड 6th. ओके, so I hope you have got everything what I have taught you, and please study well. ह्या इनिशिएटिव्हचा खूप भरपूर असा फायदा घ्या, कारण तुम्हाला 40+ मार्क्स 100% ह्या पूर्ण जेव्हा तुमचे पूर्ण 6th to 12th सगळे सब्जेक्ट्स होऊन जातील तेव्हा तुम्हालाच कळेल की जेव्हाही तुम्ही कोणताही प्रश्न घ्याल हा आपल्या ह्या सिरीजमधनं झालेला असेल, नॉट ओनली सायन्स बट ऑल सब्जेक्ट्स. ओके, सो विल मीट इन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. Thank you so much.